Yo, 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 what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Nate the Great coming at you with another live. You already know if you're new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. To all the returning friends and family, you already know it's peace and blessings. Let me give y'all a little bit of time to tune in case these notifications ain't go out. First things first, hopefully everybody having a blessed and productive Thursday. Hopefully everybody keeping themselves cool in this humid weather. For those in the city, it's a little bit grayish outside, but nonetheless still humid. Make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Make sure you're keeping yourself safe health-wise. And if you have to check into a hospital or a nearby facility because whatever complications, make sure you're doing so. Key awareness for trying to keep yourself preserved, especially if you are trying to enjoy the rest of your summer and in the rest of your year as well too. Hopefully everybody prepared for whatever they got planned for the weekend. Again, keep yourself visual at all time. Keep yourself very observant. Most importantly, just keep yourself safe. Harry, what's going on, my guy? Cherry, what's going on, baby? I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that tuned in Tuesday for the conversation. Definitely was a great one. Definitely one that most people should have caught the replay or, hey, catch that replay. Now, I hear you. I hear you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Today, I gotta reiterate on a few things, and this is very important, especially for those who are dealing with mental health or know people who could be dealing with mental health, whether it's close friends, family, whatever. It's very important to start having some form of execution plan just in case if things go south or almost go south. In certain situations, we see that people who have long-standing history of mental health illnesses and everything else, 9 out of 10 got checked out way before their time, which is unfair because again, that's still a human life, still a body. It's not cool. BMF, what's going on, my guy? You know, we've heard a lot of stories of situations like that. If they haven't been executed, wrongfully, uh, seriously get themselves hurt. It is very important and key to really pay attention. Not just pay attention to the sounds, but pay attention to the surroundings. When it comes to certain situations, we see how, you know, those quote unquote people do things. And not all of them, but you got those who are either too trigger happy or those who are just too scared and not knowing how to really execute outside of execute. I hear you, bro. I hear you, bro. Um, and again, it should never go that far. Regardless to what, if somebody is suffering from mental health or mental health disease, doesn't matter. They still a human being. They deserve to live. And again, if a person does have a long-standing history of something that they can't help, hey, best way you can try to do things is try to help them. There's ways to alleviate situations without it having to get dangerous. Cool gamer, what's going on? And again, it's good for people to check in on those who suffer from those illnesses because again, you never know what they could be going through And 9 out of 10, they could find themselves in a situation where they could be at risk of losing their life. Mental health is one of those main things that affect everybody, every race, every city, country, does affect down the line. People who are suffering from depression, prime example. All it takes is the smallest thing for them to snap. The ones that you really need to look for are the ones who are quietly depressed. Because those be the ones you really got to be on guard because you never know. You know, it could have been having one of the roughest days, and all it takes is a simple thing, or they think somebody is making a fool of them, or laughing at them, or so on and so forth. And then they just go, seen that happen time and time again too. Again, be aware of the signs. There are ways to deal with people who are having outlashes to a degree. And at least until you're able to get some form of help where you could help that person, basically. In certain case situations, you might have to subdue somebody just to calm them down, but there's ways to do it without harming them or even unaliving them. This is why I said it's important on all levels for people to really start focusing on the most important things at hand. Mental health is important. Not saying you can win the battle overnight, no. It's still going to be a long battle because, again, everybody is built different. Everybody born different. Main thing to remember, too, is try to keep them stress free. The ones who could be suffering from not just depression, but also aggressions, got to try to keep them in the calmest spaces. Because in certain cases, it don't take long for them to go off the deep end as well. But while you are dealing with people who are along those lines, then try to get them the help that they need, especially if they are crying out for it. Butterfly, what's going on, baby? Not gonna lie, you know, life does affect everybody differently, whether you on the spectrum or not. And I'm not gonna lie to you neither. Um, it becomes a point where it can get draining, but you also have to remember, you know, still a human being at the end of the day. Regardless of what they may be going through or suffering with, they still deserve a chance to live as well. But it is very important again to have some form of a execution plan. If you think one of your family members or one of your closest friends could be having that form of an outrage or a blackout moment, you need to be critical and trying to make sure you get that person help so they don't become the next casualty or they don't end up being doped up for the rest of their life. I'm sorry, but it hits different, especially again when you got to think about it. Doesn't matter if it's a male or a female. The fact that you know it can happen at any moment, that's a scary thing. Again, There's ways to calm down people, even just by talking. In a lot of wild case scenarios, some people again who was on the verge of going ape shit, excuse my language, have found a way to calm the hell down because somebody has either said something or just stood their ground on what they needed to. Now this is going on, baby. I already know if y'all just tuned in at the like button. See, people be thinking that mental health is just only for that month. No, no. It still goes deeper than that. That young lady that lost her life recently in her own home. And apologies that I'm trying to get everything where I need to get that. But it's a serious topic too, because in that situation, she would have still been here. You know, condolences to the family, condolences to the people that was close to her, because again, stuff like that shouldn't happen. And no matter what the situation, you know, this is a person that's not going to be back. See, it's a serious situation because once you go that deep, telling me there is no coming back from that. That person can't get their life back. That person can't go back to their family. And despite whatever, never know what could have been. So I say it's good to try to have some form of execution. Because in certain situations, I'm sorry, I'm not saying all, but there are some who just don't give a damn about life. And it's sad because again, you're supposed to be protecting and serving, regardless of what. And again, there are ways to do things without having it to come to that. Again, mental health affects people differently on different scales. You got people who are schizophrenic. You got people who are bipolar. Some people might have ADHD. You never know. If you already are dealing with something on that level, then imagine having to deal with that form of mental health. And again, start really like reaching out when you need to. If you know you got people who need it, like make sure they good. Again, they thought mental health was just for the month. Nah, it should go deeper than that. You know, this is an all year round battle because there's always different outcomes to different stories. And again, we got to start figuring out ways, or we really just gonna have to put our foot down. When it comes to certain things, we need to start thinking about mental health more than anything. Because now it's showing more than ever. Prime example, people that should be housed in these facilities, they closing a lot of them down. Yeah, and I'm bringing it back up again. Denise, baby. Now again, why can't we try to come together and figure out ways and even uprise to try to get some of these facilities back open, or create our own facilities? Try to, bring in people who are actually within that field of work that know how to deal with things. Prime example, we got people outside right now. Some of these people can't be out in public because again, they are a danger to themselves, they're a danger to the people around them. And we to a point at certain points where they don't even want to be bothered even touching them or even trying to subdue them when you know they own, which is a scary thing. And I would say in certain instances, yeah, for those who you know for a fact they can't be reached and helped, those are the people you got to worry about because at any given time they could think to do something irrash or just out of pure anger. Some of these people can be not so much as just rehabilitated. Some of these people can actually get back to some form of normalcy. You got people, prime example, who are dealing with Tourette's, and to some degree, that's a depressing thing too, because again, it's something that you just can't help. You know, and people fail to realize that. Yeah, everybody is built different. You know, if your mind can't function like how normal people's minds can function, and guess what? Uh, you still are gonna have to get through life, which means you're gonna try to have to make the best out of everything. And the people around you need to be a support system in helping you with that. Battling depression of any sort, it's not easy. And again, if you got the right people, then 9 out of 10, you'll get through it. But you gotta get yourself through it as well too. In certain instances, again, might have to just unplug. There are some people who are on that spectrum I've seen because again, I've been around people of all calibers of life. It's not hard to identify certain things, even though times are changing. It's not hard to identify certain things. Some people, they mental disability couldn't just be not being able to control their anger and aggression. Like I said, it could be suffering from something else more than that as well too. You know, you never know. But again, it's life nonetheless. They do have a right to live. Now, prime example, almost had a situation last night. You know, but luckily, like always, cool heads prevail. You know, when you see certain things, like prime example, people, you know, shaking on certain things or doing certain things that look like, you know, somebody's trying to either rob, steal, or just trying to vandalize, and you come to find out it's not that person is having some form of an episode. You know, cool heads always got to prevail. Because in certain instances, some people would go straight for the gusto and try to either knock that person out or do something bad to them. Again, not knowing this person probably could be certifiable on paper, whatever. So again, it's about really observing what you need to observe. See, I believe that there are ways to combat what we call mental health, different ways to do it. But for the real severe cases, you need to start studying more. You know, really need to start paying attention to what we can. You know, we might have missed something. And if we did, we could always come back to bring it back. What critical pieces are needed? Hey, you know, again, this is something that's going to be long fought even well after we're gone, but we should be able to try to get back to a form of reasoning where uh, these people who need the help, especially in those severe cases, can actually be housed and treated and, properly, looked after. For those who are actually doing what's necessary, whether it is friends or family or whatever, right? Again, those blessings will come tenfold. But always keep yourself strong and firm, and remember, your mental health is more important too. Yeah, you could be helping out and doing the best you can, but guess what? You want to have to do the best you can for yourself as well, because that's not an easy task. You know, I know there's some of you out there who have children or young or old that are dealing with these forms of, mental health crisis, right? You know, trust me, your blessings are going to be worth it because, again, you're doing what's necessary. When some people would just throw their children away or even just do the utmost, you are doing what you are supposed to be doing as a real responsible parent. You're giving that person what you're supposed to be giving them, not just love, but you're supposed to be giving them the real help they need. It doesn't matter. Prime example, situations where you might have a child that's dealing with dyslexia or anybody along those forms. Oh, shoot. Like I said, the list goes on. IB, what's going on, my guy? Gotta get your child help. Or if your child is mute, prime example, try to get your child to help still, regardless. For the parents who are dealing with situations that even are beyond their control, just keep your head strong regardless, and don't give up the fight. Because in the long run, it is about your child. Or it's about your family. Like I said, young or old, if you are dealing with people who are suffering, hey, if you're doing your best to keep on above and afloat, keep doing so. Not gonna lie though, um, definitely gotta just like gotta start being more involved. Because again, some people are gonna do the utmost. The people who need the most help, they need to be housed. And that should be a focus more than anything. Just imagine you almost gonna have to do something that you don't wanna have to do to protect yours or protect your family. And come to find out that person really needs help. Like it's crazy how they just throw them in the streets. And I would say for that motion, this is why everybody should be trying to get on board. Do something, you know, raise awareness the best way possible. Try to gain whatever knowledge, try to do whatever you can do. Try to get the main people you need to involve. Maybe they could be assistants, especially if that's your goal. You know, getting your, getting the help when needed. That's the most important thing. But again, it should not have to get to that point where a person loses their life just because of something they can't help. Like I said, mental health crisis is real. Mental health is not just 1 month. It's a long lasting battle. And again, if they suffer from depression in the worst way, try to keep them upbeat. Definitely keep an eye out on them. Do the best you can to keep them from doing the unthinkable. Some people just get tired of life. You know, and it's sad because again, you're supposed to fight. You're supposed to fight regardless. You know, not everything is going to be easy. Not everything is going to be handed to you on a spoon. You have to create. You know, you have to create space, awareness, and opportunity. And there's some people who, because they didn't have that, hey, they're not here now. Which is sad. When you have people who are reaching out, or trying to reach out, hey, open up that olive branch, extend that line of communication. Sometimes the simplest things you say or do could definitely keep somebody from doing the unthinkable. Some people really have, the worst type of luck. That's why you have to be aware. Even from young, you have to be aware of that. Bro, what's going on, my guy? I'm sorry, but it's more critical now to really start trying to focus on the most important things. And again, you know, figuring out ways to keep people from harming themselves, unaliving themselves, or putting others in danger. Keeping them away from things that could trigger them or even put them in that same situation. To be honest, some of these people are better off with the medication. Like I said, no severe cases. I think you would be better off with the meds, but the minute you get off of them, or the minute they stop giving them to you, or it's just not being given to you where it needs to be, that's a problem. Now your body's going to withdraw, and it's not a good thing. It's just not. And I feel like this. Mental health should be covered in mostly a lot of the medical coverages or the Medicare coverages, but sometimes it's not. Let's keep it honest. 702 is going on, baby. See you up in here. But this is the problem. You know, look how much money has been squandered and has been useless, basically, when it could have been useful towards reopening up these establishments, getting the best people within that field to be a part of that, you know, giving some of these people the help they need, whether it's inpatient, outpatient, doesn't matter. Again, you could possibly help save their life. Because if they don't get hurt by society as a whole, they might get hurt by the law enforcement. Some are going to know how to deal and know how to maneuver when it comes to certain forms of mental health situations. But there's going to be others where you already know 9 out of 10, they're going to be quick to do the unthinkable. So I said, got to start figuring out ways to keep your family safe, keep your close friends safe. The best way, a lot of times, again, if you really do have love and compassion for these friends or these families of yours, then again, you need to reach out when you can reach out. And if that person is serious about needing the help, then again, try to help them the best way you can. Again, it's up to you to help that person stay balanced. You're all supposed to be their support. You're all supposed to be some form of guidance. Supposed to help them and guide them through that dark road and that dark journey. But all in all, though, this is something that really should be looked at again. Nobody should have to worry about being maimed or tamed because of issues they can't help. And RIP to everybody who was on that spectrum who has lost their lives due to either ignorance or negligence from the law or unawareness from the people within the community, or just for them doing their own thinkable on their own. That's why it's good to try to focus on those things again. Sexy baby. It is good to try that. You know, try figuring out ways to try to make those situations a lot less harmful, a lot less painful. I'm sorry to sound like that today because it's a real sad thing to think about it. Even the numbers, you know, if some of these people actually had people that could have reached out to them or even, tried to help alleviate a situation way better, trust me, these people would be here. They would still be fighting. But it's the worst thing when you are fighting any form of mental health and depression and nobody's there to really help. That will definitely drive somebody insane. Because who did that person go talk to? All right, if they believe in a higher power, yeah, of course you're gonna talk to your higher power. But outside of that, who do you really talk to? That's what I'm saying. These type of situations are never easy. You do get some success stories, and again, you do get some, glorious moments where things could have turned dire and it didn't. And that's because, again, cooler heads prevailing, assessing the situation, and then people either saying or knowing what to do in these situations to get a situation calm. Prime example, if you know somebody could be having one of them outbreaks or them rage moments, guess what? There's ways to subdue them, especially if they are trying to get violent. There's ways to subdue them without having to really cause no harm. There's things they don't teach that they should teach. And again, sometimes you ain't even got to do much. Sometimes those people on the spectrum just need somebody to listen to. And what's so hard about listening to somebody? That's what I'm saying. What's more important? Yeah, chilling. You already. What's hard about doing that? Again, assess a situation, and then you know where to attack. Yeah, good looking. It's not hard to uplift somebody when you know you can. But then there are some situations you're only gonna be able to do but so much. In order to break barriers, I believe again, you just gotta have a real strong notion and a compassion to keep everything moving. Let your friends know, let your family know that everything will be okay. Not everything gonna go accordingly, but when it does, you'll see the difference. You'll feel better. I believe some people are suffering on that level because they trying to do everything they feel they could possibly do for a person. But in the same token, it's almost like you harming them to a degree too. Some of these people will take on your burdens and your pains because they feel it. But again, you got to remember about your mental health as well. You got friends who might be down, you might be sad for them. Try to help them the best way you possibly can, but you can't let things consume either. Again, it's good to try to talk with those who need it to turn a severe moment into a peaceful moment. Don't take much. Like I said, listen to them. Sometimes they just need somebody to rant and vent to. Let them do so. Give them that open ear, but also give them an open eye when it's time to do. You know, Again, it's about observing, knowing when to attack, assess a situation, and then attacking that situation again. You want that person to at least get back to some normalcy. You want them to not feel that enraged or that hurtful to themselves. When you know you got people like that on the spectrum, you got to be extra precautious when it comes to their life and their preservation, regardless. Prime example: if you know you got family who are suffering, but you can't do much for them, but you want to try to help them the best way, try to help them the best way. Again, make sure you're at least checking in on them from time to time if you have to. You know, some days they gonna be good, some days they might be a little shaky. But if they a little shaky, hey, sit on the phone or you sit face to face, or you try to help them. You try to get them out the funk. Prime example is being in the house is giving them the funk. Come on, bring them outside, go do something. Tom, what's going on, my guy? No, again, mental health affects everybody, especially the people in our community. And we need to start figuring out ways to help them the best way. In certain mild cases, like I said, the most they just require is somebody to talk to, somebody to pay attention, and also somebody to just give them the time that they need. Let them get off whatever they need to get off, so they can feel better. Again, there's nothing wrong with showing a little humanity when you need to. And I believe that's a problem right there. The humanity factor is gone because it doesn't matter if it ain't affecting your family, or if it's not affecting people around your family. It's who cares? But again, that person is a human being, just like you are. Same way you wouldn't want to be tossed towards the trash or tossed aside. Got to think about them as well too. And for some, they are depressed because again, they can't help their situations. They want to be able to do certain things on a normal level, but in that same token, they can't. They feel limitations to a degree, and that's depressing. Miss Chicago, baby. So I said mental health is always going to be tackled on more than one occasion and for more than 1 month. Now, again, like prime example, last night could have been a crazy situation because had none of us really had mind sense to assess the situation, guess what? Could have possibly been getting into a situation just because us not know. Again, you gotta identify who you can identify, and the ones that really need to be housed. If they still have facilities which are open, try to get them in there if you can. I hear a group of camp kids. My bad. I do see a group of camp kids. Oh shoot. Yeah, that's the Million Man March right there. Oh, they playing music. Please don't let me get a copyright. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. Nah, but you gotta remember this part right here. Oh, y'all coming this way. God damn it. My bad, y'all. Might have to mute y'all for a second, depending. But yeah, again, even though you got people who are on those lines, and again, you need to do what's necessary. And what's necessary is making sure that they getting the proper help and the proper care. And again, not being tossed to the side. They didn't ask to be born in these situations. They didn't ask to have those situations. But again, you are supposed to still have love and compassion and care for them. Marlene, baby, I gotta catch your replay. I think I caught you leaving out, but I did hit that like button though. I gotta catch that replay. Definitely, baby. Yep. Give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Told you I ain't trying to get no copyright for something I ain't playing. Um, but yeah, like I said, definitely make sure you are checking in on those who are dealing in those, situations. Like I said, listen to them. Even if it seems like it's not making sense to you, still just sit down and listen to them. Say some encouraging words that again could help them. And I'm sorry because nobody on that spectrum, especially dealing with severe mental health disease and illness, they shouldn't have to worry about losing their lives. They still should be able to live until that creator calls them home, more than anything. And again, for those who have lost family members or lost friends in those type of situations, again, healing prayers. You're gonna definitely need it. Because again, there's ways to combat certain situations without it getting violent or escalating the violence. You just gotta know how to speak to people sometimes. Sometimes even with your tone, hey, you can spark something good or spark something bad. And those high situations, a lot of times you just gotta think and reason and be reasonable. But still protect yourself when needed. You know. See, in the worst case scenarios, when you have to call them, again, it should be an execution plan the way again, even if they have to remove them from the home for whatever reasons, at least, make sure that they are getting that proper care and they are not in any harm. You know, I'm sorry because again, that hits different regardless. You know, a loss of life, a person that's never going to be coming back to their family again. You know, got to start doing better and reasoning more. Find different courses of execution. You know, a moment of silence and a moment of prayer for those who need it definitely. Because again, this is something that even when we long gone, this is going to be a battle. But we could make that battle at least a little bit lighter and a little bit more easier. Again, just start gaining knowledge on the things we need to gain knowledge on. You know, no, we not medical experts, but shoot, we could at least try to be around those who are in those medical fields that really know and can identify things. And again, they need to start reopening up these facilities again for those who are in those red areas, basically. They shouldn't be roaming the streets. They shouldn't be a harm to themselves. They shouldn't be a harm to others. They shouldn't be any form of a distraction or just whatever. Because again, They need help. James, what's going on, my guy? In all cylinders of things, again, you know, it does play a vital role in, again, executing everything that's needed. Got to be able to execute patience, compassion, and again, just be able to think on your feet when you need to. There's situations I've been in, especially with people who do suffer from severe mental health. I ain't had to get violent with them. I ain't had to get crazy with maybe one time I had to assert my authority with one, but it still didn't get violent. Just had to let that person know that regardless to what you might be going through, I'm going through something as well. And I know you are going through something, but again, you're not going to try to harm me and think I'm not going to defend myself. Some situations you might have to do that, but then sometimes you might not. Again, you don't want something to escalate to something very dangerous. Sometimes you just gotta know how to speak to people. Majority of the time, I have just that one thing to do. Oh, I know what this is. I already know where I'm going with this. Then from there, you assert yourself like you're supposed to. So again, you just gotta know how to reason with people. I believe some forms of depression are caused from just everyday life. Things not going the way you think it should be going, or you know, could be a whole different list of things. You could be dealing with certain deaths in the family. You could be dealing with, other traumatic events. They all could be coming in on one full circle. But again, you never know what somebody's going through. And if you think you know what somebody's going through, then you need to sit down and have a talk with them and try to keep them in the best of situations so they don't create or cause a harmful situation. Those who could be listening who are suffering from some form of mental health, I would still tell you, if you have chances and opportunities, go try to get you the best help if nobody is there to help you. Don't think just because certain people might not be there right then and there that nobody cares. There's somebody out there that cares and somebody who's willing to sit down, talk with you, and reason with you. Don't think just because you might have certain people who might not be there when you need them that they're not accountable. They still accountable. Still gonna come through regardless. Still reliable. Hey, there's nothing wrong with again trying to get help when you need it. You never let your depression or your illness stop you from trying to live life. You never let your mental disabilities stop you from living life. This is a general message for those on the spectrum who need to hear it. You know, whatever things you do that keeps you in the best balance, you continue to do so. And if you gotta add something to the course of curriculum, then you do so. Tanya, what's going on, baby? We need to definitely start, you know, voicing our opinions and standing strong and trying to unite and trying to, battle the situation. For some who are losing a lot of facilities and inpatient or outpatient, hey, Start fighting to get those things back open, or start getting with people who actually want to help, who actually want to make things work, and build your own. Try to create your own to where you can help people. I believe once you get to that point of safety and having the best safety measures for that, it'll be a lot easier. You'll hear a lot less stories of people with severe mental health being unalived, especially in their own residence. I hear you, Tanya. Hopefully, you smoothly get through the rest of your day. For those who might be at work right now tuning in, or those who be on the road, y'all make sure y'all keeping yourselves safe and preserved. And for those who not here, again, healing prayers to those who need it. Shoot, not gonna lie to you, this, it hurts. It hurts because regardless to what, this is a human being with a family. Again, start remembering what's more important. It shouldn't just be about self, especially when you have people who are dealing with mental health. Do what you can do, you know, and try to be strong and sturdy in the things you need to be strong and sturdy on. Give them that open ear, that open heart, and give them that open mind. Another thing I was going to cover today, or partly cover today, it does have to deal with, you know, how you help people. Papa Will, what's going on, man? I already know if y'all just tuned in, hit the like button. And if y'all new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. But I believe there's a lot of situations that, yeah, it is caused by mental health. A lot of crimes, it's the same thing. A lot of crimes happen like that too, because again, you have people out here who are on the spectrum who are not housed or not properly being cared for. And, you know, this is what you're seeing. Or you got those who are on the heavy drugs that are blending in just with the people who have severe mental health, which is a scary thing. So I said you got to keep things on board and keep things, in the grand scheme of things. Your safety is more important than anything. When it comes to certain situations, you gotta just be able to think. Not so much think quick, but just think. You know, like you could be a law enforcement officer dealing with a situation on that magnitude. You don't necessarily gotta use the stun gun or try to subdue them. Sometimes just speak to them. Speak with them reasonably. Shoot, they ain't gonna give you a hard way to go. I've seen one or two situations, especially with people who are on that spectrum, and because they wasn't getting the proper meds or the proper treatment or just the proper care at all, you know, it had a situation where look, it could have got deadly and it didn't. That's because cooler heads prevail. Look, I dealt with you on a couple of occasions. You already know how this is going to go. And if you don't want it to go the other way, we really need to just calm down. And usually it works. Again, you don't always got to match aggression or anger with the same aggression and anger. Sounds as good to just really obsess the situation. And if it's something that you know you can help with, then you help. Or at least try to get that person help. Either which way shouldn't lead to a disaster at all. On this topic, I'm gonna revisit because there's certain stories I could go down a list of things that had it went the other way, these people would be here to be either celebrating or, probably moving and making strides in life. Everybody elevates in life, even those on the spectrum. You know, again, when they have the right type of support system, when they feeling good about themselves, when they are not allowing certain things to poison or even plague whatever happiness they have in their mind. The most important thing to remember again, still try to keep them elevated. Don't think that just because they on the spectrum they not smart. No, they smart. They smart. They strong. Some of them on the spectrum, to be honest, are smarter than the average human being. Word, what's going on, my guy? I feel that if you execute a form of execution for mental health crises and to avoid those crises from becoming deadly crises, that will be better for every household, depending on the situation. And if there is no situations in them households, then you still have to worry about certain things. Because again, you can end up being depressed just by not being able to deal with things you need to deal with. You could be depressed because you think you could be going through some form of, you know, abuse. And if it is that case, then believe you're going to have all forms of depression. Shout out to the coffee plug there. Don't worry, I got a hot steaming cup for everybody. But you just got to remember that there's ways to just keep yourself safe and keep a person that is dealing with those forms of mental health safe as well. But if it's to a point where you have to call the law, then make sure just make sure that everything is still being assessed. You know, certain situations, shoot, you might have to remove that person from your home if you are dealing with them. But again, still make sure they safe. Make sure they are not being mistreated. Make sure they are not being agitated. Just make sure they keeping themselves safe. Period. I hear you, James. Yeah, I needed this. I should have been asleep, but nonetheless, I had to push the live back today because yesterday I actually got me a decent amount of sleep. Yeah, clap your hands, clap your hands. Yeah, the cyborg actually got some damn sleep. But I feel this was a good topic to talk about anyway. I'm gonna drop the link in case anybody want to chime in. Um, Again, there's ways to try to help with those situations at home. You know, it don't take much again to just have some humanity and compassion. Because if you was going through that form situation, you would want people to have some compassion for you as well. Not sympathy, but compassion. You're gonna need it. What better way to keep somebody from feeling like lower than low than just trying to uplift them? One thing you were supposed to remember is never kick somebody when they down. I don't care what form. I don't care what spectrum they on. whether they're on the normal side or the other side, it doesn't matter. You never kick somebody when they down. Never kick somebody when they in their darkest moment because you don't know how that will turn out. That's one thing I've learned to do throughout the course of life. Never kick somebody when they down. Making fair judgments when you need to make fair judgments, but also just keeping the balance right. I got friends on all forms and all specters of life, and guess what? They all have the same amount of love and respect and compassion that I got for them. We all at some point are able, especially when we think one of them could be going through something, we try to do the best we can to uplift. And that's what a pact is supposed to be for those type of people. A pact. Reaffirming that regardless of what you're going through, you got people that got your back. And you also have people who will sit down and try to help you the best way they can. I was gonna actually cover something today, but I think I'm gonna cover that on another day. I'm gonna cover that because it'd be good to get everybody view and opinion on things on that notion. Oh, as a matter of fact, I can kind of bring this up today. Um, to all the young men out there and to all the young women out there who, if you've been done wrong as far as you've been cheated on by your significant other, kudos for y'all keeping y'all composure, keeping your heads, in a calm space, despite being angry, and also, you know, continue to just move forward and stay strong regardless. There are some people who don't necessarily have to turn to any form of aggression, violence, or petty negativity to somebody who has done that. Um, Kudos to y'all who are keeping your head above water. Young man, young man found something very strange about his woman, but he kind of already figured something was going on. And guess what? He wasn't that far off. You know, just gotta remember that part. This is something that you need to start keeping. When you see this person is not doing what's needed, then you do what's necessary for yourself. You do what's necessary for yourself. You don't get out of pocket. You don't get angry. Don't get violent. Don't even get upset. You know, when you find out what you need to find out, you just keep it pushing. Break all ties when you're supposed to. Because again, that's toxicness right there. That's ready to happen. Because now you feel you either A, have to get the upper hand, or you feel like you're gonna have to do whatever just to make a person feel the way you feel. Yeah, it's not always gonna be that way. Man, what's going on, baby? You know, found out his woman was cheating. He ain't get crazy. He could have got violent. He could have ran her over. He could have did a lot of different things, especially behind the wheel. No, I'm gonna give you your phone back once you give me back that money that I gave you for shopping. This ain't gonna happen. You're out here doing what you're doing, and just instead of being real. This is why I was going back to what I was saying before about people keeping it real. Like really communicating when you're supposed to communicate. Like come on now, you're not gonna be able to sit here and not gonna be able to deal with that bullshit. You know, and why should you? You know, this is why I said what I said before. You go for the person that wants you, not the one that you decide to choose. It'll never be good for you at all. I'm sorry. It was funny, but it wasn't funny because you just messed up something solid, and that man seemed hurt. But in the same token, I'm not going to allow you to ruin my life. Or I'm not going to allow you to put me in a bad situation. You messed up. Now, there's no way in the hell I buy you a phone, and you speed over. Like, look, my bad, y'all. Now, it's the city when you hear that bullshit. About to say, James, what you did, man? Helicopters came out. James, what the hell you did? I'm calling the Death Stars. Fuck that shit. You just gotta remember this part. Nobody should have to worry about somebody that don't want them. For those who ain't see that short this morning, you need to go check that out. That's the inspirational hope for the week. In certain instances, when I do my little shorts, I'll give you a little inspiration on here. Doesn't matter. Um, but it's real. You know, you gotta have self-respect for yourself, and the self-respect is, all right, that person messed up. Time for me to move on. Stop trying to hold on to things that are not gonna ever work itself out. That's what I'm saying. It's something to think about. You know, why go through all the extra hoops and hurdles trying to reinstill something that got broken in the first place? You ain't the one that broke the bond. So when you know that person has done that, you just move forward. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, especially if you did feel like you had something there with that person. But in the same token, you gotta remember your self-respect and your dignity. You can't allow somebody to cheat on you and then run all over you and then decide to come back. That's not the way that works. What you mean run the roof is run? Wait a minute. Like, I keep worrying about Rufus. Rufus was asleep. Rufus is not running today. Yes, he is.
Not my problem. That's just not my problem. Not my problem. That's just not my problem.
There you go. That's what y'all got, right? That's what y'all got. Oh, but you gotta remember, it's your peace of mind, preservation of your heart and your spirit. You know, and again, it might hurt, but again, you don't allow that to ruin anything. You just know you deserve better. Go get better. That's it. Marlene, don't give me that face. You asked for him, right? See, you should have left, baby. You should have left him where he was at. You've been good. See, don't be listening. Don't be listening. James, don't encourage it. You had baby Rufus burning up grills and shit. Come on, man. Come on, man. We gonna have a talk, man. I'm tired of y'all with that BS, man. As a matter of fact, I'm not. I'm really not. Hold on one second. I'm not. My pettiness is still real.
Not my problem. That's just not my problem. Not my problem. That's just not my problem.
There you go. For confirmation and reaffirming you that baby Rufus is gonna lose. But nah, you just gotta remember that. You know your self worth, you know, and that's what you're supposed to go off of. You know, a person has to respect you for who you are overall, not just respect what you can do for them, but just respect you overall. And again, nobody should have to find out the hard way or from anybody else that a person that they're dealing with is being unfaithful. I think that's the most cowardice way of doing things. And again, this is why conversations are needed in the beginning. Again, I need to know exactly where we are going. If I gotta worry about you being out there doing whatever, then I don't think I want this. I was saying certain situations, if that's how you feel, you have to worry about somebody doing something. And that's somebody you shouldn't have to deal with. But make sure you are making the right decision and not just going off of impulse. I ain't messing with you. Marlene Baby Rufus can't teach no dance lessons. He the runner up. You forgot he the runner up. He had competition. Hey, he had competition all day. Come on now. How you gonna try to not execute the footwork? Come on now. How you not gonna try to motivate the footwork? Come on now. Footwork, baby. We not sure yet, Papa Will. We not sure yet. Trying to figure out a couple things. Might have the first ever AI Matrix Awards show. Ain't gonna have a few categories, but guess what? Between Baby Rufus and Baby Natrix, I don't know. I don't know. They even got stiff competition. I don't know. Yeah, you got to remember that part. Know your self worth, and that's on both sides. Know your self worth. Never allow nobody to walk over you and try to walk back into your life. If you was out there cheating, continue to be out there cheating. No matter of fact, just continue to be out there. Just leave me out of it. And that's on both ends. Again, men and women. For those who are finding out things the hard way, don't make things hard. If you think this is what it is, then make sure that's what it is. And if it's not, then you get back to your normal, routine of things. I'm sorry, but it's time to really start having conversations and in-depth conversations with people. If you feel this is somebody you want to do more than date, then you better make sure that they are on the same level with you as far as just on the mental capacity. Everything else, let it follow in line and follow accordingly. It's not hard to do so. Again, if you learn to just say what you want and what you need from Jump Street, you'll have less situations. You'll have less heartbreak. You have less, situations that get out of hand. Like I said, that man could have wilded out. He could have ran her over. He could have smashed her phone. He could have did a lot of different things. He could have got out and hurt her or unalived her, but he didn't. Just give me back my money you thought you was going shopping with, and you can have your phone back. I don't want your phone because you ran and sprinted to the phone when you realized you didn't have your phone. So that means you got something in your phone you don't want me to see. And then if you change the password, especially if I'm the one that purchased it, oh yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. So that man did all the right things. There is no compromises. There is no willing to accept back something or anybody that did you wrong. Again, it's about having a cutoff point. Once a person delves outside of that relationship or outside of that marriage, everything else is out the window. Now, if you are going to work through it, then again, y'all better sit down and have a conversation so this won't happen again. But then again, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. That's why I say it's important on all levels for everybody, whether you're in a deep relationship, engaged to be married, or already married. You have to sit down at a table and compromise and come to conclusions when you need to. Have those talks, even the most uncomfortable ones, because those will definitely help your relationship. Whatever the situation could be, again, sit down and talk. Talk to each other, not against each other, not at each other, and not like you better than. Again, have a strong form of open conversation. You both could be lacking in certain places. Hey, sit down and talk. Listen, I feel like you're not doing this. Okay, well, I feel like you're not doing this. And then that's it. Nothing more, nothing less, though. You know, she said, I think Baby Nick is a little better dancer. Are you sure about that? No, no. She said, Baby Rufus. Baby Rufus should be, but now Baby Natrix. See, look, you see how Baby Natrix. Look. You gotta choose it. You gotta choose it. Oh, wait a minute. Before I do anything else, because I ain't gonna hold y'all long, I just wanted to chime in with the people. Again, the link is still in the chat in case anybody want to chime in on either situation. But I think the best situation in that hand, again, is not putting yourself in a situation. There's some of you young fellas out there who are doing the wise thing, just stepping away and not doing anything that would harm or put you in harm or put your family in harm or push you back. That takes a lot of maturity because there are some people who didn't have that mature, that didn't have that emotional intelligence maturity to stop. I don't gotta put my hands on you because I'm angry with you because you did the unthinkable. Hey, I would just walk away. Let me get my peace of mind and let me go move in a better life. Let me go find somebody who actually wants me and not just feels like they need to accept. Let me make an option to go be somebody's priority. Oh, before I even re-chime in on this one, and again, it could have went left. Glad he didn't do the unthinkable or do anything unreasonable. Same thing with some of these women out here. They done heard some things, and guess what? They didn't do anything outside of just leave comfortably, leave quietly. Yeah, you're gonna hurt, you're gonna feel the type of way. But again, now you're open to be loved, cherished, and wanted by somebody who actually wants you. Some people don't think. Again, your happiness and your preservation of peace, it does start with you. You know, for those who are keeping themselves under wraps, especially after finding out the unthinkable, hey, continue to keep moving forward. Like I said, life is not over because somebody might have done you wrong on that level. You still got multiple opportunities to be in a better state. You just know from now on to read the symbols and the signs if you need to, and then you move forward. In certain situations, you might not even have to search hard. Again, just keep living life. Things will flow naturally. With that being said, I will be getting up out of here in a minute. So I already know where this is going. I smell music coming at some point. But um, something I might, like I said, chime back in on. It could be tomorrow. And I'll drop the link in case anybody want to chime in on that conversation. Again, for those who could be suffering forms of mental health, please try to get yourself the best help possible. For those who are dealing with people on that level, please make sure that they are good and getting the best help possible. Don't leave them astray. Don't push them to the side. Again, you wouldn't want to get pushed to the side, so don't do it to somebody else. With that being said, hold on one second. For those who are celebrating birthdays this week or this weekend, I ain't forget about you, baby.
got too obvious, okay, I like your confidence. Oh, that's what could come is okay, that's like Kalani's. Roger like Kalani's, okay.
Facts, Denise, you already know. Papa Will, you know I'm getting my little morning slash afternoon walk. So yeah, you're gonna hear some street construction, but I just want to chime in because yesterday your boy was actually asleep. Like sleep to the world didn't make sense. But I'm up, got the next 2 days off. Um again I appreciate everybody that's been a part of the build. Appreciate everybody still becoming a part of the build. Still a great conversation nonetheless. Hopefully somebody did get something out of this. And for those again, please be inspired to give help to those who need it. Try to help in the best way possible. And again, if you don't want certain things done to you, don't do it to others. Don't kick somebody when they're down. Because when it's your turn, trust me, it ain't gonna be fair. For those who might have just been tuning in, you can definitely catch this replay. Definitely make sure you're sharing it out. Like I said, these type of topics, they gonna be discussed on a daily, even on a weekly. Like I said, until we get to some form of better normalcy, and until we can get the people who need the help that they need. Hey, they ain't finished yet. Wait a minute, wait a minute. I just thought about something. Wait, Marlene, you said either Baby Rufus or Baby Matrix, but you forgot about the grown couple. You forgot about these people right here. How you be forgetting about the people, man? For those who ain't been catching the show, come on, man. Are you sure Baby Matrix is the winner? Oh, eh, okay, okay. Well, we had to switch names then, because Baby Matrix was him. Now here you go, Baby Rufus. Here you go, Baby Rufus. One more game for you. There you go. Nice little healthy serving. Don't worry, don't worry. But yeah, I'm gonna revisit this topic, and I think that's good. Again, I'm gonna give this awareness to those who need to hear it. If you was with somebody and they did the unthinkable as far as cheat on you or do anything along those lines, you do not allow that person to gain another chance. At least from my view and opinion of it, because if they've done it once, they'll probably do it again. And even if they have learned something from it, if you know in your heart things just not going to feel right, it's not going to be the same, then again, follow your heart. Give yourself that space and opportunity to decide how you're going to move forward in life. You know? Again, you can't allow people to walk all over you. Take a stand. Again, if somebody deems that they really want you, then they should show you that in more than one way. And if they really are for you, they will definitely show it more than one way because they will remain how they supposed to remain, faithful. On that note, though, let me get up out of here. Let me get up out of here. For those following me on Clapper, I could be back tonight at 6 o'clock on the dot. Um, and if you're not following me on Clapper, please make sure you do so. I was supposed to do something again. I think I was supposed to do something again. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do this. My bad.
Mom, I just want an Oscar.
First AI, first AI Nature's Awards show coming soon. One more again. One more again.
I just want an Oscar.
There you go. There you go. So yeah. Again, I definitely see y'all at 6. And if not, don't worry. I'll send a nice little gesture because gotta figure out a couple things. Also, again, I want to make this quite clear. There's some of you who are crying and complaining and moping about not having true happiness around you. How do you expect that when you're not willing to see certain errors, see certain faults, and try to change those faults, or just try to alleviate those faults so it won't be a problem? Again, you can't be in control of every situation. You gotta learn to compromise again. And if a person really does show you true, genuine love and support, either angle, keep those people close by. You know, if the love is being reciprocated back in more than one different way, then hey, again, do so. You know, keep your options open when it comes to anything in life. Never second guess or second doubt yourself. Again, just learn how to do what's needed for you. Make yourself happy. You're gonna have people who come across, they might make you happy, they might do things for you to make you happy. Cool. But you gotta be happy within yourself. There's nothing somebody say or do can do anything. Come over here with that light skin stuff.
Let me get my change back.
Nah, see, that's why your check gonna be 12 cents. See? 12 cents. See, look. Now look, you get docked again, you might get negative 15 cents. Keep on. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna have to not just dock your pay. I ain't gonna dock your pay. I'm gonna just lower your pay. My bad, y'all. And mess with the people as always. But again, incorporate, some form of peace and happiness. Chill. Don't let the simplest things have you go on a complete outrage. It's not needed. When you love yourself, you embrace yourself, the people around you will love and embrace you. And when you have the right people who's doing so, you keep doing what's needed. That's really about it. Let's go, John. This is what I'm saying. You don't necessarily have to get crazy or violent. And that's both men and women. Don't get crazy and violent for no reason. It's not needed. If something just ain't fitting you right, you do what's needed for your peace. But yeah, let me get up out of here. Again, for those following me on Clapper, how you doing, man? For those following me on Clapper, I'll see y'all at 6 o'clock definitely. Always a pleasure to bring a conversation to the people. And for those just tuning in, again, catch this replay. If y'all was new to the channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to the replay game. Shout out to the Shadow Mafia and the Shadow Babies. Y'all know what it is, baby. For everybody that was in attendance today, y'all already know that love is love and it'll be reciprocated and such. I don't know how to be fake. What I'm gonna do is keep it real. And that's all I'm gonna do is keep it real topics and real bills. Again, appreciate everybody that tuned in. Hopefully, for those in the West, y'all enjoy your morning. Those in the Central, still morning. afternoon, evening to everybody else. And yeah, happy Friday to all you future babies. I can't let y'all go out like that too. If it's your birthday already, hey. I ain't forget about you. Yeah. Take this again. And for those I'm gonna see in the club, you know my slogan.
With you. I normally don't ask girls stuff like this until they tell me they're pregnant. What's your name?
Clapper.
Yeah. Y'all stay safe. Keep that third eye open. Until the next live, we out of here. Peace and blessings.